the meeting to order at 12:10 p.m. and we did the Pledge of Allegiance. That's all you missed. First order of business, we'll do a quick roll call of counselors. Jackie, are you online? Okay, I'll call for counselors. Jackie, could you call for counselors, please?
Oh, yeah, I'll try to do it by memory.
Thank you.
Mayor Hollett.
Here.
Councilor Whitney.
Here.
Councilor Bjarnson.
Here.
Councilor Hooker.
Here.
Councilor Kenyon.
Here.
Councilor Spletoff.
Here.
He's in the room with me.
Okay. Did I miss somebody?
Did you get Councilor Kenyon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Thank you all.
Did you get, excuse me, did you get Councilor Coker? Is she on?
Oh, Councilor Coker.
We're missing one from my list, so.
I didn't call Coker. So.
Okay, if anybody sees Councilor Coker on, come on, please let us note it for the record when it happens. All right, so today's meeting is organized the best that we possibly could in such a short notice. I'm going to give a quick summary of some of the things that have been transpiring the last few days. If I talk fast, I'm sorry, you can ask questions at the end. We will give a public comment option, but I'm just going to go ahead and go over the meat and potatoes of the things I know and the things I think that the community really wants to know from us. After that, we're going to do some staff reports and get into the weeds a little bit more on some really important information that we need to get out to the community. So first off, I'll try not to duplicate information, but you might hear it twice from me and then from the staff member in their respective area. So far, I believe today is day 49. We've been on the Cedar Creek fire. Alert sense messages and multiple wireless notifications went out yesterday for levels 2 and level 3. Many people didn't get their wireless alert, and we have been working on that with the county. However, door knocking happened early yesterday morning and throughout the entire day. I do know that we have confirmation that everyone in the High Prairie Hazeldale area did receive their notice and a face-to-face. Last night, we had multiple law enforcement agencies here from all over the state doing PA announcements, sirens on, going through all the streets, all the residential areas, even the rural areas where people don't primarily live, just announcing that we're at a level 3 and to go now. That happened well into the middle of the night, I know, because it was hard to sleep with it going on. So this morning, our latest update was that the fire is approximately 3.5 to 5 miles out from Huckleberry area, heading northwest, 4.5 miles out from Aubrey Mountain. Team report says that the fire did cross Highway 58 at Kitson Ridge. And it looks like we're about 7.5 miles out from Fish Hatchery Road. Now, all those numbers can vary just a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to actually be boots on the ground and see where the fire is. So some of that information comes from a map. Some of it comes from face-to-face, people actually getting eyes on the fire. Total acreage as of the middle of the night last night was 52,000 acres. This morning, it's estimated to be closer to 80,000 acres. That's not an official number, but I believe that it will be. Fire moved about 10 miles last night, and in the middle of the night, there was about 17% humidity. The incident command post today, the one that's been at the Oakridge Industrial Park, is moving to the Lane Event Center. Base camp, where most of the firefighters are at the Hills Creek operation, are moving to Elijah Bristow Park. The forward operating base, known as FOB, will be staying here. That is some key incident command people that will be staying here in Oakridge. As far as power, we've been told that the power will stay on in Oakridge. However, West Fir and High Prairie will stay off until further notice. Hopefully, we'll have a better update tomorrow morning or afternoon. Currently, there is no changes to the level 3 evacuation. We are staying at the level 3 throughout the day, is what I've been told. One of the most questions I've been asked is, can people come back into Oakridge? Right now, I don't know that answer, but I lean towards no. and it sounds like Chief Hollett can answer that, but I think the big goal right now is that we want to keep people out of here and keep the highways clear. Sheltering and mass care has been going really well. I know Sarah Altemus is on the line, so we'll give her an opportunity to talk about that too. I did in one of our meetings today, they said that they have 96 people there with 60 animals, and they have a lot more room for new people if there's people still needing sheltering. Lots of strategic conversations happening on all levels, and I'll say a little bit more at the end. But first off, I just want to thank our staff has been awesome, working around the clock for all the citizens here, and oftentimes not being able to be with their family. So please thank them when you see them, and we'll go ahead and start off with Chief Hollett.
Just a few things to add. Mayor pretty well covered most everything. It looks like we're going to have 7 task forces come in today. There'll be 5 working during the day shift hours, and then 2 in the evening hours. We have crews coming in from Lane County, 2 from Washington, 1 from Yamhill, and 1 from Marion County. One thing about the road closure that was passed on to me is LCSO is not allowing people to come back into Oakridge. However, if there's someone that has to have medications or has animals on their property, there is a form you can fill out on Lane County's website, and they will do their best to try to take care of those situations as they come up. We have a incident management team that came in from the Oregon State Fire Marshal's office. Red team consists of about 22 incident management people, and they are here for at least the next several days. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Chief. Chief Martin?
Citizens and council, as far as police services are concerned, we have someone working 24 hours a day, in addition to all the extra folks we have from across the state that are here helping. There's a lot of people on the highway. There's people in our city streets and the county streets outside of Oakridge and in West Fur. We also have some local help from local agencies as well, helping OPD with basically patrolling for concerns of people's residences and keeping an eye on as best we can with our resources. I was able to look at the fire last night at about 1 o'clock in the morning, where it got close to 58. Just to clarify, so far the stuff south of 58 is spot fires, so the fire didn't actually cross, it's spot fires.
Thank you.
But it's pretty awesome to watch that, and it be that close is also worrisome. We're also trying to take care of our people first, and most of our people have got their families out, so the officers can work and not be worried about their families. So, and if citizens have questions, they can still go through dispatch, but please keep those to law enforcement questions only for dire needs and not routine stuff to not clog up the phone lines. Another thing we'll be talking about, I'm sure Robert will talk about it some, but a lot of people have left sprinklers on their houses and left. It's not good, because that's taking away water resources from the fire department and the conflagration units. So I'm sure we'll talk about that some as well. Other than that, I don't have anything other than we have people driving around and checking on everything, and we're doing extra help with evacuations that some people are not wanting to leave right away, but then changing their minds.
Thank you, Chief. Robert Crispin?
Good morning, afternoon, whatever it is. Public Works, we have 3 guys on staff right now. Lloyd Stalkup and Shane, they're out shutting off water that shouldn't be on. So if you do come home and find your water's been turned off, please notify us when you come back into town. Current situation, we used 1,298,000 gallons of water yesterday. I've been here 20 years. That's never happened. That's a lot of wasted water. Again, Chief touched on that. Your sprinklers being on is hindering the ability of our wells to keep our tanks full, so that the firefighters can use the water that they need to make sure your house doesn't burn down. I understand your concern, but please, if you do leave, do not leave your water on. Sewer plant is running on generator power. Treatment is happening as it should. We got 2 days worth of diesel for that, but we do have staff to keep it full. However, the staff has my permission to leave at their discretion. So with that being said, if it gets real bad, there's only going to be one person here. That'd be myself. Again, my biggest concern is please conserve your water. Don't waste it so that the fire department can do what they need. Outside of that, power, Chrissy touched on, will stay on with inside city limits until emergency management declares otherwise. Then it will be dealt with by Lane Electric. Outside of that, that's about all I got.
Thank you, Robert. James.
I don't have anything. Well, I had a bunch of things, but you guys covered them all. So nothing to add.
Okay, thank you, James. Let's go with Sarah Altemus.
Sure. Thanks, Chrissy. I have some info here, and I also have some good links to put in the chat if you guys can enable chat for me. I can do that sometime throughout the meeting. But this is the mass care information for evacuees. I think I want to start this off with reiterating we are still in a level 3 and go. I know that the air is cleared a bit and winds are shifting, but we still have a lot of fire line between our community and at all angles. So please, community members, if you're listening in your town, you can help firefighters out and conserve resources by going. Sorry, just had to say that. We're starting all our messages with that. So first, if you're in Eugene, down in the valley with family, wherever, and you have a good, safe place to stay, then shelter in place. That's the best thing to do. If you do have evacuee needs, we are asking that people check in at the temporary evacuation point at LCC. This is important because if you go straight to the Red Cross shelter, Red Cross cannot share information with the county, and they won't have you checked in as in a safe location. And this also comes into play if this becomes a further disaster and FEMA gets involved. So really important to first check in, and then they're trying to sort between evacuees and the other unhoused population. So it's important to get registered and in the system. If you do need it, there is overnight shelter care at the Red Cross shelter. There is room for pets and large animals. There's also room for RVs and camping. So you can have some personal space there if you want it. Do save your receipts. If we do, if this does become a declared disaster, then some of your costs could be reimbursed. I think that's a declared disaster, but just something good for folks to know. And then I think the other stuff I can put in the chat, there's a call number for non-emergency call, as well as a link for registering if you aren't going to use the emergency shelter or the temporary evacuation point. You can still register and state any needs you might have. So I think that's it, unless you guys have any specific questions I might have missed.
You may have said it, but is the pickup point still at the Baptist church, or is it over somewhere else now?
At this point, there is not a regular bus service. So people are going to need to either call the line. You can call 211 or this non-emergency line, or use the form to indicate that you need a ride out of town. But if you do need a ride out of town, LTD is standing by and can send a bus up to get a number of evacuees out. And I can help with further coordination if we know that's a need.
Okay. You, Sarah?
Mayor,
Go ahead.
can I ask for clarification on whether or not the chat is on?
It's not
for her to put
on. It's not on, and honestly, I'm looking and I don't know how to add it. So,
Can you make me a co-host?
yes.
Okay, I'll do it. If I'm a co-host, I can do it. Otherwise, maybe we can push that out on the city Facebook later today. And you guys, if you do have Facebook access, it's on the county website. Or if you have regular access, you can go to the county website and find all this information on Lane County / Cedar Creek fires is how they're pushing this information out there.
Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead, Dawn.
sorry. So you're saying that on the Lane County website, we can find the links to register that we are safely, staying somewhere other than at a shelter, so they can do a head count?
Yes, that's the case. They use those forms for the same thing. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the offhand name of the form. But it's the Cognito forms, but it's basically an incident contact intake. Yep.
Thank you.
And you can just register. You don't have any needs if you don't have any needs.
Okay.
Sarah, your co-host now. Counselor Kenyon, did you have any more questions?
Not right now. Thank you, guys.
Okay, let's go ahead with any other counselor questions. And since I have so many people here to manage and I can't see all the hands raised, let's just go with Councilor Bjarnson. Do you have any questions for any of the staff or any overall questions? I do have Brent with the Oregon State Fire Marshal's office here, who's been with us every day for the last few weeks and very knowledgeable, lots of aspects as well that we could answer or ask questions to. So go ahead, Councilor Bjarnson, if you have anything.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I don't have anything new. You guys have given out some great information, and I just appreciate everybody that's staying behind and trying to make sure everybody's safe. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Councilor Whitney?
Sorry, it just took me a minute to get my hand up, my mic off. So I just wanted to say that I went to the Red Cross shelter and just because I have kids everywhere, so had to get them all different places. But I found that a lot of people that I was worried about just through my job and knowing people in the community were there at the shelter. So I was really encouraged by that and thought that was just fantastic to see. And it, you know, it felt good to see that people were getting the help they need and getting to somewhere safe and being taken care of.
Awesome. Councilor Hooker?
Nope, I have nothing. I appreciate all that you guys are doing though. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Splitoff, here in the room with us?
Couple things. One, I got a call this morning for a check on the person behind Ray's. There's about 4 people there. The guy was in Portland and he went to our website for the city and it didn't say anything about a number to contact to find people.
Okay, that's
And
something we can,
we tried to get a hold of PD and couldn't. So he just went down the list of counselors and got a hold of me and had to do a welfare check. The people are gone, but is there a number on the website that I can tell them to?
I haven't looked at the city's website, but I'll work with James on that here
Okay.
after this and we'll see what we can put up there.
Chrissy?
And second
Yeah.
thing is,
What, can we let Jackie answer that real quick? Go ahead, Jackie.
If you click at the top of the website where it talks about the wildfire information,
Okay.
the phone numbers come up.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
thank you. Second thing, I'd like to say, big shout out to the police force that's working here. We've got numerous ones in here. I've been seeing them active, running around here doing checks and stuff. And they're doing their job. So thank you for all of our assistance.
Okay, thank you, Counselor. Did I miss any of the counselors? Councilor Coker, did she log on? Okay. All right. Did you have anything else?
This is Chief Martin, Council and Citizens. Just one more thing I had is if anybody knows of any people that need some assistance but are stubborn, can you please let us know? We're trying to compile a list of that. We have had some people that probably have needs that aren't met yet, but they're refusing to leave. So we'd like to try to mitigate that as best we can. So if you know of people that have those kind of issues, if you could please get that information to us. And if you call the regular number, that still goes through to dispatch.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Chief Martin, can people who do have needs and they're, they just don't know who to get a hold of, can they call the police department to work things out to see how they can get transported out of town?
Yes, we can help with that as well as the county resources.
Can I jump in here? This
Okay.
is Sarah. I very much encourage them to call the 211 number just because I know that our folks in town have so much going on. So that'll coordinate with the county's emergency operations center. So 211 is easy to remember. And I did misspeak, you guys. I guess you have that chat locked down, so I can't seem to open it up. I can get this non-emergency call center number and the intake form to you all to maybe put on the website. Would that be best?
Yeah. Yeah, anything you have that could add to the website, go ahead and email that to both James and Jackie if you can.
Okay, copy. Thanks.
All right, any other Chief Paul, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to add that we've brought in extra staff and we've had people that have been here since for the last several days, and we'll continue to have extra people here. We've had volunteers come in and spend a lot of time here. We've also assisted with the evacuations and getting people on the buses and get people out.
Thank you. All right, any more staff? Is there anything good to know stuff, Brent, that we may have missed?
I think you've got it covered.
Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we've got a couple more things. One last thing for council admin business I just wanted to touch on. I would like to ask the council that we cancel the meeting on Thursday. My reason for that is staff is extremely tied up with, I mean, you can imagine a list of things. I can't possibly see how they would have any time to prepare for a council meeting on Thursday. So I'd like to open that for discussion for councilors. That would be our typical regular meeting.
I
Mayor?
am fine with that.
Okay.
I am too.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Hooker and Councilor Whitney. Councilor Kenyon?
I'm absolutely fine with that as well. I just want to verify that, if there was, just like this meeting, anything important that needs to be covered, we could pull a quick emergency meeting at any time.
Absolutely. And I was going to mention that this meeting does constitute an emergency meeting. However, in the future, for people that are check Facebook. I'm not sure I got the notice quick enough to Jackie to get it on the website. But since there are not many people here in Oakridge, our primary locations are not going to be the post office and City Hall. Our primary locations for meeting notices would be the city's website, Facebook, and we'll do the best we can to get that out there. The other thing is I do see some options in here that I can go live with a meeting next time. So if we do another one, I'll try to push that. Maybe James and I can work on that and see, or maybe Sarah knows how to do a Facebook or a live meeting on Zoom with this. But is everyone okay if we cancel that regular scheduled meeting on Thursday? It sounds like I have a consensus.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, great. So that is all I have. Let's go to public comment. So people in the audience, try your best to use your little Zoom emoji hand, and I'll go across the board. This might take a while, and I'll call you by your name. Please state your name and address, and just we're gonna try to make these quick. So normally I give 3 minutes, but let's try to keep it to 1 minute because we do have a lot of staff that have to get back to doing their jobs. So first one up here I see is Alicia McCrae. Go ahead.
I can't hear her if she's talking.
Alicia, are you talking? It looks like you're unmuted, but we don't hear anything. Okay, I'm gonna go on to Sarah Altemus.
Yeah, I'll just add for those that are on phones, you might need to press *6 as well to unmute yourself, as well as the volume. I just realized that last week, Cedar Creek Fire Team 6 was telling us they would have a public meeting on Tuesday evening. That'd be the same as last week. I just want people to know to look out for that. If everything remains the same, should happen. And I am trying to check the time. I believe it was at 6 p.m. Does that sound right?
Yes.
The last one? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
As far as
yeah.
I know, we're going to keep that Tuesday meeting for a while.
Okay, great.
There's next person I see is Samsung SM-S. Samsung SM-S901U. Your hand is raised.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay, my name is Marguerite Allen and I live at 47864 Elgin Avenue. We have our sprinkler going. Please feel free to go over and shut it off.
All right. Thank you for mentioning that. We really appreciate that.
No problem.
Thank you. And we'll go back to Alicia McCrae. Are you able to unmute again? So Alicia, it shows that you're unmuted, but we don't hear any sound from your side. Okay, let's go to the next person, which is the Samsung that just spoke. Can you go ahead and take your hand down now?
Oh, absolutely. I
Thank
meant to say that the sprinkler's in the backyard, so just go through the fence on the side. There's a green gate on the side. Just go through the back, shut the sprinkler off.
Can we get the number of address?
What's your address again?
47864 Elgin Avenue. House is yellow.
Great, thank you. Next person on the, Alicia, are you able to unmute? So Alicia, how about you just fiddle with that a little bit and just go ahead and start speaking whenever you can, and then I'll just keep calling on other people. Next person is iPhone SE parentheses old 5C.
That's me. Can you hear me?
We can.
Hi, just a couple of questions. Is there any idea when we'll be able to return home?
We don't know that yet. As soon as we do, we'll get that posted out on social media. Are you following social media?
Yes. Is there a particular group or?
I put everything else I can on Mayor Chrissy Hollett.
Okay, got it.
The city of Oakridge is also putting stuff out there.
Okay.
Yeah, Cedar Creek fire page is probably the best out of all of them.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
it'll say level 3 is eliminated. You can return home. How will that message go out when?
You know, what I've seen in the past is usually they lift it and they decrease down to a level 2, but I can't say for sure just because circumstances change so much. The best I can say is pay attention to as much of your methods as you can possible.
Okay. And the only other question is on the water shut off. That's only shutting it off if people have left their sprinkler on. You're not shutting off water to the home, correct? Just if people have left sprinklers on.
That's correct. We're just turning the hose bibs off that you're connected to. If we can't get to the hose bibs, yes, we will turn your meter off.
Does that answer your question?
So I didn't leave any sprinklers running, but so does that mean somebody went to my meter and shut my water off to my home?
No, that's not what he's saying.
Okay. So. Okay. So my water should be on if I didn't have a sprinkler going.
They're only doing that if they absolutely have to for special circumstances. They're not going and shutting everyone's water off.
Okay, got it. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Alicia, are you able to get your phone to work?
Good question.
Oh, I hear something.
Don't talk, Brad. I'm not sure how to turn my hand off.
Okay, well, just go ahead and mute yourself. And when you can turn your hand off, go ahead. So Alicia, you can go ahead and call me offline, or you can message me on my mayor page in the messenger option, and then I can hopefully answer your questions offline. Or you can call the fire department, 541-782-2416. Next person up is Chris Cliven.
Hi guys, I'm actually sitting here with my son-in-law. This is Colleen,
Hi.
Shirley. Hey, I just had a question about, Sarah had mentioned something about the Red Cross, like signing up. So if we're sheltered in place, are we supposed to sign up to say that we're somewhere and we're safe? I was a little confused on that.
Chrissy, what's your address?
It's Colleen.
Yes.
Sarah, can you answer that?
Yeah, that is correct. It's, it's not imperative right now because of the, nature of our level 3, but that is a sign in. It's a web form, and you can say you don't have any needs, but you're just registering that you did evacuate and you're an evacuee. And so it lets them know you're not in town. So if things get worse, they know they don't have to go to your address. So it's called an incident contact intake. And you can either do that by going to the LCC site, or you can just do it by going to that form online. So we'll get that stuff up on the city website.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Okay, thank
I
you.
put it on the city Facebook page and the city recorder Facebook page.
Awesome.
Okay.
So what you're really saying is you want, even if you didn't go to a shelter, everybody that evacuated Oakridge, we're really hoping that everybody can register on that. Is that correct, Sarah?
That's what I'm understanding from the Emergency Operations Center, because that's just in the case that we have more fire that comes into the community and it turns into a search and rescue verifying where people are at type of situation. We're not there yet, but this just helps get ahead of the game.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Can I clarify that would also apply to anyone in Westford and High Prairie, not just Oakridge city limits?
Yes, absolutely. And Dawn, that's a good point. This is only for people who have evacuated. If you have stayed in Oakridge, do not fill this out. You can call the number and if you need assistance to get yourself evacuated, but that might cause confusion if you're checking in as safe and then you're still in town in level 3.
Thank you. All right, so I don't see many hands. I see the iPhone SE old, but I think we already spoke to that person. Is there anyone on the Zoom right now that doesn't know how to raise their hand? Just go ahead and unmute yourself and start speaking. Joe Anderson, are you one that's unmuting yourself? Okay, so just once again, if there's anyone, oh, James Clevenger. Oh, that's me. If there's anyone else that needs to speak, go ahead and just unmute yourself and start speaking. I see one that's a Samsung. I don't know if that's one we've already heard from though.
It is.
Okay.
This is kind of a silly question, but were we seeing this go any further, like to the 21st or anything like that? Are we seeing this go past this week or anything?
I certainly hope not, but I think
Okay.
really the critical time really is throughout this evening. I think once we get into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, we'll have a better idea of where this is progressing or not progressing. And that's not exactly an official answer. That's my personal opinion.
Fair enough. Fair.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, staff, does anyone have any last minute things? Okay, I just want to thank everybody for joining us. I understand very stressful time for everybody. And the last thing I just wanted to say is please thank your firefighters, your staff, and your community leaders when you see them. You got to remember that they also have family too, and the stressor is on everybody's shoulders. And then those people are also have the stressor of taking care of all the residents here. So the next 24 hours is going to be a really rough 24 hours. So lots of positive thoughts, prayers, and good juju is always helpful. So thanks for everyone's cooperation and getting involved and doing what you could. I just have to say it always. I just think we have a really awesome community here in Oakridge. Always comes together, and it's great to be a part of. I was going to end the meeting, but I see one more person with their hand up, and that's Floyd. Go ahead, Danielle.
Yes, hi. I don't live in Oakridge, but I am the manager at the St. Vincent de Paul. I just wanted to thank you guys all for one thing, but I wanted to see, is there anything that, I know St. Vincent de Paul outside is helping with resources for evacuees and everything. Is there anything that we can help you guys up there with?
You know, I think probably maybe connecting with Sarah Altemus. I think your resources might inline better with some of the things that she's doing.
Yeah, and let me just give a quick answer to that. St. Vincent de Paul is working with Lane County on donation center if that needs to be stood up down there. But I think we want to incentivize making services down in the valley while we're on a level 3. We don't want to incentivize people staying in town just because we are still in a critical fire situation. So yeah, people come down to the valley. There are resources down here to help you. If you don't have a reason to wear a Nomex or a badge, you shouldn't be in town.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everyone's involvement, and this meeting is adjourned at 12:48 p.m.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, everyone. Be safe.
Thank you, Mayor. Be safe, everyone.